So there's no ghost writing. It's quote unquote they use in hip hop. It's called ghost writing when somebody else wrote your verse and then you get on TV a lot what Puffy might do or something like that. You know he didn't. You be like, oh, he ain't write that. You might hear somebody say that. We write our own stuff. So you know what I mean.
So that's impressive. You're not just, you know, singing something. You writing it, and then you know the difference between a verse and a hook and a 1 and a 2 and 3. And so how many, you said 8 words or 8 bar? What is a bar? I'm through.
A bar is it's a measure. It's almost like a beat count, you know, and it lets you know when to, I guess, finish a lyric. Like I said, forget all your doubts. That's the thing good to pass. That's time to. That's 1 bar. Time to roll with a G with legitimate cash. 2.
Oh, okay.
And the G stands for gentleman, young and intelligent.
Oh.
You see when you see how you get in the counting when you listen to the song. It's like you can bob and you can hear the bars once you catch the beat. You know,
oh, see, we talking education now. So now, you know, for all the people my age, you could go and, you know, talk to your grandkids about, yeah, I like that bar, or I like that beat.
Right.
Like, Granny, what you talking about? You think you know what you do? Yeah, I like that bridge. And, you know, I like the way it, I guess a bridge take you from one bar to the other bar.
It's a segue, almost like a hook.
Okay, but you know what? I like some of the songs with that heavy beat. Just, I don't know what they singing, but like that song, I know it's a shame that I liked it, but Shake It Fast.
Oh yeah.
I was just like shaking it fast and losing weight.
Well, you know that goes back to, you know, that's the African in us, the drum. You know what I mean? That we can't escape who we are. You know what I mean? That's our soul, that's our spirit from Negroes. I think hip hop is another form of the Negro spiritual. It's a modern day form of that, more refined, more just brought up to speed. You know what I mean? Because it comes from with us. It's something that we feel. They can't duplicate us. You only seen one good white rapper. You only seen one Eminem. They ain't got nobody else. You know what I mean? But this is art. This is our music. This is what we do. This is the one music. They took rock and roll. They tried to take blues. You know what I mean? That's all us. American music is African American music.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Who did you just say? The white people? I mean the white rapper?
Eminem, yeah, and I give him credit. He's a good lyricist. I got his CDs. I listen to him. You know what I mean? But he's a one in a million.
He's a dope songwriter.
Yeah.
So he probably got some, you know, backup in his line. He probably.
Well, I mean he was co-signed by Dr. Dre, and he comes from a group. If you look at the group that he put out, D12, us. You know what I mean? Straight from Detroit. You know what I mean? He knows what it is. He knows where it comes from. Hip hop is an African American music. You know what I mean? It's what we do. It comes from us. You know what I mean?
But then in the same light, it's so powerful now that it's been able to touch all different colors, all different races,
transcendent
generations, old, young. You know, it's that powerful of a music where it's been able to touch and reach. It's overseas crazy now, and it's a beautiful thing because it hasn't been another music like it to come along and touch so many different people of so many different ages in history, in musical history that we know of.
People from other countries are learning English through hip hop music. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of them they can't speak a lick of English, but they can recite a verse or a 50 Cent song front to back. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important that we put a message and content in it. So when they're regurgitating it, not only are they learning, you know, the language, but they're also learning the message and what we want them to hear and take from it.
That's why we need to do something in Spanish. Spanish is very important. Now, other languages are important too, but we're in a Spanish hemisphere. And we are the, you know, like right up here in America, we speak American. When I was stationed in Germany, they spoke 5 languages, easy. We think that English is the primary language of the world. No more. Our dollar is declining and our language is going to be declining too. So when somebody comes and sprinkles the dirt, just whatever, I want to be able to understand what they're saying. So we need to really start rapping in another language, and that is my point, because when I did read that Do You, it was talking, I think it was 50 Cent. He was amazed when he went overseas and those people was reciting his song frontwards and backwards. I don't know if it was 50 Cent or someone else, but the hip hop is, like you said, it's all over the world, and people are learning English by reciting these songs frontwards and backwards. So it's imperative. I hope someone out there hear me when I'm saying it's going to be imperative to start doing translating. Can you take your song and get it translated or something? Because we need to go to a different level and a complete level. I need to get somebody to do some management for because it's important that we you know, go to a different level. What else is going on out there? Why did y'all even do this? I mean, I don't understand.
That's
Why
a good question.
did you even do it?
That's great.
Go ahead.
I actually started, I think I wrote I'm pretty sure I wrote my first rap when I was 8 years old. And me and my brother, we come from a musically inclined family anyway. Our grandmother wrote poetry. We have uncles that's played, you know, in bands and pianos, and so we were already blessed with that. Hip hop came along and killed it for us. It was just, you know, our generation. It was like, you know, just like soul music was to that generation in the 70s. You know, when the late 70s, early 80s came along, and we were born into that. It was almost kind of like it was just implanted into us, and we took it from there and developed a love for the music, and tried to perfect the craft, and got into it, and like what we heard, like I said, the art form of it, the art of it, graffiti, the break dancing, you know, all of those different elements were intriguing, you know, to us, and it was part of what we seen in our everyday lives coming up as well. Graffiti, breakdancing, you know, DJing, all those things we began to love and appreciate, and then, you know, when we started to get in tune with our own musical history and saying, well, hey, let me see if I can write a rhyme, or, you know, and then that turned into, man, I'm kind of hot, you know, I'm kind of good at this.
Yeah.
That turned into what, along with a lot of other things, that turned into what it is now. Yeah. Just based off of the love is why we're doing it for the most part. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's why you're doing it.
I can say hip hop chose me. I got a essay award in 2nd grade for writing a short story. So I've always been writing. I've always kind of tapped into that side of it. Observation and expression, you know what I mean? What you see and try to get somebody to understand what I saw and how it made me feel and what I'm thinking and my opinion about it. So, you know, it's a way that I express myself and get what I want to get out. And it's something I can't turn off. I would do this, like I said, we're not millionaires, but I'm still going to do this. If I didn't have a booth or a microphone to get my songs out, I would still write them. You know, it's something that's embedded in me. It's just a part of me, you know, and we take it and we're going to run with it.
Yeah. Let's talk about bordering right here.
Okay.
And this is a very important part. The reason these young men are on my show, not only to talk about what's going on now, because they just happened to be on my show after the stock crash, and we wanted to talk about that.
And the blackout.
And the blackout and all the things that has happened. But the main reason, we need to support one another. I mean, you know, you need to really support me, because I've been doing this 12 years. I've given 12 years of my life, and I brought the Tuskegee Airmen, the Buffalo Soldiers, the Negro Leagues, to let you know that it wasn't always easy out here. I've spent many years teaching you about the process of buying a home, even though that process has changed drastically. I have helped as much as I can, and this is not about my show, even though I've had my big mouth open a lot. Believe it or not, this is about these young men right here, and I want us to support them. And I'm not sure what we can do to support them, but if someone I challenge everyone that's listening to this, buy at least 2 of their CDs. I don't know how many CDs they have. If it's the same, if they only have 1, buy 2 of them, because